This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero, is it in you?
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
That simulcast Saturday, we basically made the Sky Yuma product, Max Brosmer, sound like a combo of Dante Culpepper and Fran the Man on the Fan.
Brosmer takes the snap. He steps up, fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Vikings!
Wasn't he, though? Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a combo of Fran the Man on the Fan and Dante Culpepper and Tommy Kramer and Spurgeon Wynn all mixed up in one. McCarthy got out of it alive.
First possession of preseason 25. McCarthy facing a blitz, sprints out to the right. He's going to run for the first down. Way to go, JJ. Runs out of bounds at the 35 of the Texans. That's a gallop of 8 yards. That's a Minnesota Vikings first down.
The backup scored.
Under center. Sam Howell goes to sneaking up the middle. Sam Howell lunging for the purple that is in the west side end zone, and touchdown. The Minnesota Vikings' first preseason touchdown comes from the legs of backup quarterback Sam Howell.
How excited was the man or the woman on the firecracker button? Because Hal went to sneaking. He got in. It absolutely looked like he got in. But Brad Allen and his staff, we had to wait, and we had to wait.
Yeah.
And if you're running the firecracker machine, the last thing you want to experience is premature firecrackulation.
I always love that one.
That's actually copyright Greg Swedberg from a preseason Cybercast game. At Vikings.com back in 2000. Thank you, boss. HOF-type contribution that still has legs a quarter century later. And while most of U.S. Bank Stadium came to the preseason victory over Houston thinking about a certain ballyhooed Michigan product, they left talking about another one.
How good. Ooh, look at Graham go on the boot left. Oh, interception, yes! I knew he was in trouble. I knew he got himself in some trouble rolling out the wrong way. Ambry Thomas, 5th year from Michigan with the interception. Ambry Thomas.
How much fun were you having on Saturday?
Love it. Love calling preseason games. Love the rare opportunity to do those TV games. Also love taking, you talk about taking a crouton and making a chef salad out of it. I can ask one person, this Florida rookie, Graham Mertz, one person on our side, what do you think? And all they have to tell God's cartoon character is, well, haven't put a lot of time into him, but word has it, if you can get him to roll out to his left, he gets himself in trouble.
I always love that one.
There he goes. I'm watching it going, the steam's happening right in front of me. I knew he was
going to do it.
I never said anything, but I knew he was getting himself in trouble. Interception, Ambry Thomas. Hey there, it's 9 to noon, and it's also the Hoffman Cooling and Heating weekend wrap. HoffmanHeating.net for all your cooling and heating needs. Big supporters of the Fan, 9 to noon, and our beloved Purple. Don't forget about the $59 AC performance check. It's HoffmanHeating.net. So let's wrap and start here where we started, but listen closely. Rube Nation, talkbacks next segment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a preseason game. Here's the deal. The talkback machine is there to serve your every need. So you know what to do via the free iHeart audio app. Get in now because it's vast and ever expanding. Now, the free iHeart audio app is like a stock in that it's set to go soaring. So you better hit that talkback now. Today only, send a single talkback and you get 3 free ones after the first Packers game.
I always love that one.
The Packers, by the way. Justin Fields ain't used to rolling into Lambeau and leaving with a smile.
Drive started back at the 22 of the Jets. Fields, cuts to Noah Blount, crumbling pocket, gets away on the move, and room to go, and he's got it. Touchdown. Justin Fields runs for 13 yards on the first possession for the Jets.
Blake Moore, Blake Brett Moore, Dave Sinek, and everybody else. Cotton John, sorry for the stray. 9 to noon watched, and it was boring.
I always love that one.
Weekend wrap, though. Most of the players we saw playing early for the Minnesota Vikings won't play again this preseason. So hopefully many a memory were captured. And here's why. Got a couple of joints this week with Josh Dobbs, Stephon Diggs, Garrett Bradbury, and the rough and tumble New England Patriots. So those 2 days will be full throttle. They'll be full throttle, and they will be nasty. And that's enough for the moving company. That's enough for McCarthy, Mason, Rodgers, Jones, Pace Jr., et al. So what does that mean? What that means is Brosmer Mania might even last longer Saturday at noon on KFAN.
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
So the talkback machine is wide open and perusing social media after the Vikings game and a little bit yesterday. Brosmer Mania is 10 of 10 in full effect. Were they tagging him on Fan Line? And the co-host of Fan Line, by the way, is a former Gopher receiver named Ron Johnson, who was quite good when he was executing his toil. And morning.
Good morning. Well, first of all, Ron knew what was going to happen. He knew that Brosmer was going to show out the way that he did. Yeah, that was, other than, of course, the atopic of atopics, the kid from Michigan, and not Ambry Thomas in this particular case, J.J. McCarthy. People are all on the Brosmer wagon right now. It's got to be QB2. What are you going to get? Sam Howell already has had experience. He's had chances. How much better is he really going to get? But you have this upside in the maroon and gold product. And in the end, he's going to learn on the fly the way the kid QB from Michigan's going to learn. And you might as well just slot him in at QB2. It was the, other than JJ, it truly was the most popular talker via the talkback machine. Via Fan Line on Saturday, and he deserves a ton of that praise, PA. I mean, I was so impressed with how he handled it. Now this is where you come back in, you go, it was fourth quarter of the first preseason game. There's that as well. And you could tell that he does a ton of reps with Miles Price in practice because he was all over. He was locked in with Miles on the field there, including that touchdown. But now the opportunity, as you say, and the potential of Brosmer Mania continuing on, he has a chance, and who knows how Kevin O'Connell's going to handle it. But I see, does Brosmer not get the late stages of the game? Does he potentially play earlier and more often? Not just in Saturday's game, but maybe he's getting reps a little further up the depth chart in these joints this week against the Patriots. So for a kid that I had never really considered as practice squad candidate, certainly, and he looks the part. He deserves to be where he's at, certainly. Really hadn't considered him in the backup quarterback conversation, hadn't considered him as being on this roster when it gets cut down to 53. It's just really cool to see him take that opportunity, PA, in a vacuum of this singular game and do what he did. I thought he was super productive. I thought he had poise in the moment, made good decisions, smart football. Made a couple of fantastic throws, too. So it was cool to see Brosmer do that. And the Gopher connection, of course, has led to this emotional outpouring of love for him. He's got to be QB2, PA. He's got to be QB2.
Talkbacks, that's why they're there for you. Free iHeartRadio app, baby microphone, up to 30 seconds to formulate every opinion to the max, to the minimum. Anything Vikings football related. Mondays are a really good day to do that. And we would like to open the talkback machine for you, beginning with the next segment. Speaking of Gophers undrafted quarterback Max Brosmer, I can't wait to hear JG later, Justin Guard. I mean, he's the champion of the Max Brosmer cheering club, and he's not afraid to admit it. So, RJ, the former receiver, saw it coming with Brosmer, you say?
Yes. He felt good about it, and he thought he'd take the reins and handle business out there.
Might want to spend a little time down Houston, Texas way and work with Daniel Jackson.
I always love that one.
With all due respect, I mean, it's Daniel. Daniel made some memories here. So, like, I'm getting ready for the Texans. I'm like, ooh, 85. There we go. Daniel Jackson. Sky Yuma, Daniel Jackson. Oh, he was undrafted. Hey, okay. And then you look at, like, when he was playing and stuff, and he came into the game, and then he made a mistake, might even have been a penalty, and then he left, and we couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So best of luck to Daniel Jackson in his run with the Houston Texans, maybe the practice squad. But, hey, DJ, you get one of these. All right, so to prep the mind and keep the face as is, which is that of happiness, talkbacks. So you're telling me that there could be some legitimacy, not maroon and gold mania, not fixing the race from a heartfelt standpoint, but legitimate, cogent football conversation that via the talkbacks could be McCarthy into Brosmer takes and talkers coming our way, and they're coming in hot, and they're going to be like, Hal and Rippin be damned. It needs to go Wolverine into Gopher.
Yeah.
And if Wolverine goes down, Gopher gets the money.
That's correct.
With 18 over there, 3 over there, 87 over there, 33 and 27 behind him, 84 for the run blocking. Moving company goes Darasaw over to O'Neal, with 3 newbies in the middle. So that's what yours truly should be expecting.
You should expect it, and I'll even tell you this: we got 9 or 10 talkbacks that have filed in already, and keep them coming. Can't wait to hear them.
Love the 9 to noon devotees.
But I have the ability; it's transcribed, so I have the ability to read them. I can tell you that there are 4 Max Brosmer talkbacks already.
Can't wait.
From going Wolverine into Gopher.
Yeah.
Can't put him on practice squad because you'll lose him. The whole thing. It's unbelievable.
I think Sean Payton's going to pluck him off the practice squad and replace Bo Nix. I mean, that may be next.
I always love that one.
There have been a couple of Brock Purdy related comparisons that I've seen in terms of, not necessarily the pedigree, didn't come from the helmet school, wasn't highly drafted or touted, and found his way into the right system with the right coach and making memories for a good team.
Talkbacks, free iHeart Audio app. Hey, building expectations for something Gopher sports related. I mean, it absolutely can come true. I mean, you got running backs who played there for Glenn Mason, who ended up scoring touchdowns in Super Bowls for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was tight end U for a minute with the likes of UTEC winning a Super Bowl with the Colts. And then you got Spaeth and Max Williams had a nice little run in the NFL. Golden Gophers mania into the NFL, Golden Gopher sports, period, can have some maniacal mania behind it. But sometimes you just need to temper your emotions a little bit.
Patulny able to regroup. Then it's poked away by Burke, who takes over. Pushes it up ahead to McGregor. Holy Cross coming down with a 3-on-2. McGregor from the right side. Centering feed. And oh my God!
Sorry, KFAN.
Wow.
Yeah, they caught. Well, it was right there in front of me.
That's hard to the hole right there.
Let the date expire if you don't want to hear it anymore. It was right there in front of me. But nevertheless, Brosmer looked fantastic. The new Sam, the man on the fan, well, he responded by going 11 of 13 and scoring with his legs. Brett Rippon never got going.
Yeah.
Brett Rippon never got going. The rouser was playing in Brosmer's head as he unfurled those fastballs. He played fast. Rippon didn't. And Howell played fast with a yards per attempt at 8. So, and about an hour from now.
He had a couple of really, really fantastic throws on Saturday. Howell did.
Cow on that 94-yard drive.
And after as slow as he's looked throughout camp at times, man, to see him do that, it's one of those, oh, now I get it type of moments from Howell.
Yeah, there were eye-opening moments. If you watch some of it back like I did, there were eye-opening moments the entire game. And that's what happens in the preseason. For instance, Donovan Jackson, starting left guard, first-round pick, Ohio State. Well, he got his official, my man. It's nothing personal, but I'd like to welcome you to the NFL by pushing you backwards and nearly thrusting you onto your back violently. He was opposite veteran beefeater Tim Settle. Now, we've seen old Tim Settle in the National Football League for quite some time now.
Would you call him a ham and egger?
He's of the blue-collar variety. And he's one of those beefeaters who is a rotational player for the Texans. And we can go all the way back to 2019, boys and girls, where the Washington, I think it was the WFT, at that time. O'Connell was on the staff. They come into U.S. Bank Stadium for a Thursday night football game. Quite the boring game, low scoring. Vikings got the money. But when you prep up and you think about the game and you're getting ready for the likes of Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, there were a couple of Paynes, so to speak, who were stealing the show, named Matt Ioannidis and Tim Settle. Now, Settle might have been a rookie that year. I mean, he just came into the league. He was like beefeater number 4, and he was just shoving everything purple and gold off to the side and laughing about it. So he's one of those biggins that doesn't get as much shine as some of the 3-technique defensive tackle biggins in the NFL. But Tim is strong, and Tim is a force when he tries. Well, there was a play on McCarthy's drive where Fries and Kelly, the Texans ran a rare preseason stunt where they took their left defensive end. He stepped like he was going to come in from the edge, and then he looped around to the middle. In the business, we call it a game. In the business, we call it a stunt. Well, the former Colts went to Colt kicking the guy and doubled him, and he couldn't get in. Well, Settle was one-on-one with Jackson. And what happened on that play to Donovan Jackson, quite honestly, should be a felony in 48 states.
I always love that one.
But it was the indoctrination. It was everybody has them, specifically when you're in the trenches with those who eat beef in voluminous fashion. He welcomed him to the NFL by shoving him backwards and pushing him over. So now Donovan with the strong lower body, he'll be ready for it next time. And you don't run into the Tim Settles of the world every single week. So for Brosmer, he must have had the rouser playing in his head during the course of that game. Talkbacks, what's it going to be? So what's it going to be? Hal backs up 9, Mark's nephew dead, and Brosmer practice squad? 9 into Brosmer, cut Sam and Brett, and sign Tanner Morgan to the practice squad?
I always love that one.
Talkback time next segment, and we happen to be quite excited about it. It's what we do 9 to noon. All righty. So here's what to know into the 9 to noon day and week of play and involving our squad. The kicker might be hot again. Where there's a will, there was all about a way. The kicker might be hot again. Hit them all on Saturday and looked quite good. Xavier Scott, he's a running back, played at a bastion of football excellence known as Maine. Xavier Scott is putting immense pressure on Ty Chandler for the third running back bid. Now, Chandler got first call, and he does in practice too, which probably means he entered the game as the 3, but with Ty Chandler, those involved in the decision-making department, they love that kid so much. If they know Xavier and that converted receiver twitch with Jordan Mason's size is the one they covet, they'll showcase Chandler so he for sure gets picked up and put on an active roster.
Yeah.
Those are things that are happening right now. The Patriots will be in town next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday at noon, on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, simulcast on Fox 9. But before that, Wednesday and Thursday, joint practices between the Vikings and the New England Patriots. And even though we may have known the name, raise your hands if you knew the game of this Henderson cat, because I didn't. Now, the New England Patriots have a nice running back who apparently is the dynamic part of the dynamic kick.
And this ball's coming out. There's a speed depth. There it goes. Oh, there it goes. Zolak. It's already a new season. The number 2 draft pick.
Yep, that's
sorry, that wasn't a more descriptive TV highlight.
No, I'm tripping on his first name. Travion?
Travion.
Yeah, Travion. Thank you. Travion Henderson. Whoa, who knew if you look back at that thing? Now, 81 or 91, I couldn't figure it out via the True Media bit. And why? Because there were hands all over each other. There was a badly missed holding call right where Henderson got out of an arm tackle, put the pedal to the metal, and he gone. But nevertheless, human nature gets to win too. Maybe we'll have virtual officiating, and they can have like contraptions in jersey, so they can determine the thrust of the squeeze of the hand on the jersey, so they can get every single holding call right on every single play in the history of the National Football League. Or something Nordo said last week, I believe it was off the air. We just understand that human error is part of life. And that was very, very apparent with a lot of games with this virtual measurement bit.
What did you think of how it was deployed? I saw it in other games. The Bills preseason game, I forget who they were playing, maybe the Giants. It took like 3 minutes for them to put it up on the board.
Wow.
I mean, the chain gang could have gotten out there, gotten a measurement, come back, did it again 2 or 3 times before the virtual bit even popped up. I was on my way in when it happened in the Vikes game.
Yeah.
Was it just pretty smooth? Did it just happen? Just work?
I'm 8.9 out of 10 on that answer, because when the virtual measurement bit popped, that's when Ben, Pete, and I were chatting with Justin Jefferson on TV and radio. So I'm not exactly sure how long the trick was on the screen when I first caught it. And Justin telling some kind of story. So, I mean, I'm like listening to the story and not thinking about how long it is taking or is supposed to take. But from what we learned in some meetings last week up to the game, and a lot of people probably know this. This is 9 to noon. This is the Elite Football Covenant. That virtual measurement bit you saw and or seen, that's not a preseason trick, all right? There are a fair amount of people who don't realize that's going to take place every game in the regular and postseason.
Yeah.
As the kids would say, it's now a thing. And what happens is the referee, Brad Allen from our game Saturday, gets the ball and looks over at the chains where they are. Chains still on sideline. Chains very important, by the way. And I heard a fair amount of people being like, well, if the virtual measurement contraption of the virtual measurement machine goes kaput and something's wrong with the software, we can still trot the chains out and do the measurement, which is true, but that's not the A topic as to why the chains are still on the sideline. the chains are on the sideline, so when people are running or catching or defending, they know where the first down marker is. So the chains are never going anywhere because they're on the boundary, and a lot of plays and things are predicated on where those chains are. But when it comes to the measurements, you're never going to see working on the chain gang people run out on the field unless the software, something's going to miss with the software. So they have 6 cameras at every single stadium. They're all in the same place. We need to become rote with the word triangulate because somebody pushes a button after the ball is spotted. Okay, got to hold the ball down so it doesn't move. 6 cameras triangulate it, and then they come up with the measurement. And it's supposed to take like 20 to 30 seconds from the time the ball is down, enter is hit, and the 6 cameras triangulate. It took longer than 30 seconds at U.S. Bank Stadium, but I don't know exactly how much longer it took. And I think in regular season games, because there is a drama element to this, but not as much as working on the chain gang and those guys, because they run out, then they put it down, and cameras are on pulling the chain. Oh, we missed it by an inch or two. This is, I mean, if you've missed it, it's new age, and new age is fine, but they have an opportunity with a full house and a rabid crowd to, when it comes to the green part of it that like stretches out to, did he get there? No, missed it by 10 inches. To build drama that way. Otherwise, I just don't really see how drama is going to be built with the measurements and stuff like that. The spots are problematic in age-old fashion.
Correct.
And you can still challenge spots, but it's not like the spots are 2 of 10 right, but the spot matters more than the virtual measurement.
Indeed.
So I didn't see it transpire with any other games. With our game, we had it one time. Took a little longer than I thought, but they tested it for 2 years. So for them to run through this bad boy for 2 years, then make the decision, this is it. This is the right way to do it. I'm one who's going to follow that until the software machine breaks and, chain gang guy's on his phone because he hasn't run out there in 2.5 months. And all of a sudden, I got 5. All right, I'll talk to you later, honey. And then they run out and determine a big situation spot. But it was fine. 9 into Brosmer. 9 into Hal. 9 into Brosmer. Cut Sam. Cut Brett. And sign Assad Abdul Khalik.
I always love that one.
What you going to say on that talkback? A free iHeart audio app microphone.
What's Mitch Leidner up to these days?
I know, trying to be Tim Tebow in maybe the XFL. Talkback time is next segment, and 9 to noon is loving it. And with the joint practices this week, Wednesday and Thursday, 9 to noon finds its beloved perch. It's in play. So mostly for the producer, but metaphorically for all of us. Perch time Wednesday and Thursday, 9 to noon. The joints begin at noon. Secure 8 towels to dry the sprinkler shot chairs. Hope the blower noises aren't within 20 yards of the mics. And let's watch the Pats eyeball one of those running backs and ponder a poach because they just lost one to injury. Welcome to the world of joint practices, ladies and gentlemen, because that's how it works. There's so much more. Enough of the rap for now. Thank you, Hoffman Cooling and Heating, hoffmanheating.net for all of your cooling and heating needs. Let's hear some talkbacks and get funky on the audio leader. That is FM 100.3 KFAN. All of that is courtesy of TimberTech and timbertech.com. That's the set list and what's on deck. Your talkbacks are around the corner, followed by Vikes Bites, green light, red light, we write. This is 9 to noon.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with 0 sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero. Is it in you?
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699, our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out, so you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, they're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Brosmer as the 2 is indeed smoke from a distant fire. I mean, that's the opinion, that's the take, until the take I don't feel is accurate. So, McCarthy, Howell, see, then it gets tricky after that. As we fade the music and fire up 9 to noon. Welcome back. Rippon has looked so much better in practice than he did in that game against the Houston Texans. Wow. I mean, he looked like Sam Howell against the Flores defense in practice, and this was against some deep roster guys for the Texans in the game. So 3 quarterbacks on the active roster, that ain't going to happen. So it'll be 9 into 8, and that is prohibitively favored.
Yeah.
And Brosmer as practice squad guy and sweating somebody picking him up. Remember, if you pick somebody up, you got to put them on your active roster. So for X amount of weeks too. I think it might be 3. So that means the team picking up the arm, well, that they have some roster related decisions they're going to have to make too. So he Max, and this is in no way providing wet blanket related terrorism. It take what's in front of you and destroy it. And that's what he did. Arm strength, always, even Sky Umad devotees have said, for X amount of months or years, arm strength, fantastic. Kevin O'Connell went to his pro day before he even started playing here, right out of New Hampshire. And he loved it. Then Brosmer played. Then O'Connell went to his pro day into the 2025 draft. O'Connell loved him. If the play calling head coach, who's the reigning coach of the year, is infatuated with your skill set, safe to say you're in a pretty good spot. And that spot initially does not have to be the 2 to a young 1. But the bet's not settled. I mean, I'm not going to sell puncher's chance related hope that when the Minnesota Vikings go to Chicago to play the Bears, the quarterback top 2 will be McCarthy into Max Brosmer. But if you continue performing in practice the way he has, he plays fast. He has a laissez-faire to him that those of the wound-up variety just don't have. And he naturally has it. He's just not scared. Plays fast. Like Nordo said, he and Miles Price trying to become the Cunningham Moss from the 98 season. Practice into games. Excellent debut. Brett Rippon's lot in life, at least here, very much in question. Talkback time.
I know everyone's talking about the quarterback controversy with Brosmer, but what about the punter? What about that thunder from down under with the leg from the Aussie? Any chance that he beats out Wright?
No. He kicked something called a banana ball, which yours truly learned of on Friday. It's a banana ball. I guess it's en vogue in Australia. And Chapman, yeah, that's a longer shot in my estimation than Brosmer unseating Hal and becoming the 2. And by the way, if you watched, listened to, or were at the Vikings' first preseason game, and you were there to see the punting prowess of Ryan Wright, I hope you brought a magazine because you needed something to do for about 2.5 hours.
I always love that one.
Because he didn't get into the game forever. Unlike the Orlando native with the flowing locks down to his shoulders, Tommy Townsend, the 2-time Super Bowl winner. But no, I have Wright prohibitively favored there. What's next?
If the Vikings don't have Brosmer on the 53-man roster, he will be starting for the Saints in week 3.
Ooh, hey.
And those Saints, though.
Wait a second, we got to throw...
Is it Tyler Shook or Shuck?
Yeah, Shuck.
And then Spencer Rattler?
Yeah, Shuck was drafted. Rattler's time, there's an expiration date on that metaphorical birth certificate of football life.
Yeah, they're going to run out of time for him. They have Jake Hayner, Hunter Decker. They got 4 or 5 QBs on the roster right now.
That's interesting.
Cam Akers is down there.
How my man brought that up. Because the Saints are going to win 2 games.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. So if Shuck, I believe a Louisville product, if they're going to ship all in with him, well, there are going to be problems, but they may not care about there being problems as much as teams normally care about problems into a football season. Which means if Brosmer continues to steal the show and capture the imagination of preseason football nation, you see the Saints picking him off a practice squad and making him active for X amount of weeks. They don't care. So that absolutely is the kind of team, if you want to keep him in the mix, if keeping Max Brosmer compensated in everything that's purple and gold, if that matters to you 10 of 10, well, then you got some decisions that need to be made, I guess. I was at 10:20 when we get into some roster scenarios, off the Texans game into the New England Patriots game. Sam Howell will be rhapsodized for some things that he did on a 94-yard drive. Nobody ever has 94-yard drives in the regular or postseason. And we had one in the preseason. A 94-yard preseason drive. I just can't tell you how infrequently things like that happen. So, of course, 9 to noon, spent some time last night at the Sneaky site, just taking in the dichotomy of what went into a 94-yard preseason drive and how it had to happen and who emerged and what was key, more so than Sam the Man on the Fan with that left hash right sideline throw to Jayshon Jones. And then there was a play where a couple of beefeaters tripped each other. Here comes the pressure, and he finds Lucky for a first down left side, and it was a dagger dime Nolan Ryan fastball. So props to Sam, because those following and or watching camp hadn't seen anything close to that over the previous 2 weeks. You ain't kidding about this quarterback talker, are you? Holy cow.
No, I am not. While Brosmer is being uplifted, and this is kind of how it works, right? If you had potentially lower or maybe no expectations for a Max Brosmer, he does what he does, you're super pumped. Meanwhile, everyone's there at the beginning of the game to watch J.J. McCarthy. You only get the one drive out of him. Here's a talk back on J.J.
don't want to be a negative Nancy here, but why are we blowing up the fact that JJ only went 4 for 7 for 30 yards? We need to see him air something out, make sure that we have someone ready to lead this team to the big game.
Thanks, my brother. That's what practice is for airing it out against a better defense than McCarthy saw Saturday. But, alas, there was a play, middle of the field, he was permitted to air it out. Overshot Lucky Jackson. I mean, that was a bad moment. Not the first quarterback in the history of quarterbacks in preseason games to overthrow wide open guys. But that would have been a nice little hit of 20 to 30 yards, middle of the field. Do you remember that play I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. And I was going to bring it up during Vikes Bites. I guess I'll just bring it up now.
Yeah.
And I have some audio from him talking about kind of the emotional element to the game. Kid was ready to be back. Kid missed playing. Kid got to play yesterday, and he was pumped about it. But I wonder do you think there was any aspect of this where he was a little too amped? Because you did see it where I've watched him in practice, and even what you would consider to be the bad moments, McCarthy's terrific from an accuracy standpoint. Clearly, he's been working on timing, and while it's not perfect, you just saw a couple of moments where he overthrows Lucky there over the middle. Earlier on, I thought one of the catches, he didn't get Addison really as much in stride as you would have wanted in that spot. And here I am. You want to talk about overreacting, underreacting. I'm digging a little deep here on what was ultimately just 12 plays.
I got you.
So, but with that said, I thought the decisions look good. And we have a talkback. We can talk about Donovan Jackson more too, where he gets pushed back by Tim Settle. You talked about it last segment. He handled that well. Just a simple, he didn't bail out of the pocket. He just took a simple step to his left and fired it and did complete it, I think, to Addison on that, was it a third down? It was like an 18-yard catch. So I'm just curious if he was a little amped in the moment being back at the stadium, back on the field for that drive, which led to maybe just a little hint of inaccuracy in his throws.
Well, I can tell you this. I know of somebody who completed 286 passes at a Division I college last year, which happens to be a school record. And also he completed about 70% of his passes, maybe 68.6, which is like 7th best in school history. I mean, there's somebody like that floating around there. His name is Max Brosmer. Vikes Bites around the corner. More talkbacks at 10. Talkbacks on the 10. Talkbacks on the 10, followed by the Pork Bellies report and a 10-day weather forecast with some traffic where somebody's going to call it Shakopee. Vikes Bites around the corner. Roster thoughts about 30 minutes from now. Parker Fox in studio at 11. And the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox. Alan Roach here to tell us the white zone is for loading and unloading only. He'll be on the radio show a couple of hours from now. It's a radio show Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero. Is it in you?
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney designed, state specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699, our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out, so you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, they're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
KFAN.
Vikes Bites. Vikes Bites, 9 to noon, is always brought to you by Thousand Hills, lifetime grazed grass-fed beef. You can shop online. Box of meat shows up at your doorstep. You can go to your local Coburn's, Co-ops, Kowalski's locations. They're proud sponsors of Gophers Athletics as well. They're on the training table. Gophers athletes, maybe including former Gophers who are now trying to play for the Purple, they've had and enjoyed elite beef from Thousand Hills. I'm going to start here with a couple of talkbacks because it plays into a question that I have for you, Vikes Bite style. Talkback machine.
Skull, baby. Preseason game 1 is like a fever dream every time it comes around. Now, is an overreaction saying Xavier Scott is challenging that third running back spot, and Ty Chandler has some flop sweat he's got to deal with.
Ooh. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the top talkback. Another one on the RB.
Hey, PA. Hey, Nardo. This is Spoons here. You guys think Xavier Thomas is going to outbeat Ty Chandler for that RB3 spot after he played very well on Saturday? And also prayers up for Rondell Moore. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Now, Xavier Thomas, not so high on him. I am high, however, on Xavier Scott, PA.
I'm high on side judge Sarah Thomas, who did our game this weekend as part of Brad Allen's staff.
So I got a bone to pick with the head coach. I got a bone to pick with Kevin O'Connell, coach
Seems
of the
prudent.
year. The issue I have is you watch Xavier Scott roll into that game. You get those 7 carries. You get the 40 yards. He's moving, man. He's finishing every run forward. And he's looking like, hey, maybe this is part of the idea of getting bigger, being a bigger, more physical presence on the field, get this run game going. And you let Sam Howell finish off the drive at the doorstep? You should have let Xavier handle it. But with that said, that was, way down the list of talkers after Saturday's game, PA. The Brosmer conversation was the A topic. JJ, how he played. But then just watching and kind of being really impressed by a guy that we didn't really know much about into yesterday's game, practice squad here a year ago. But Xavier Scott showed his stuff on Saturday.
What about Khalif Halassi? I mean, he hasn't even come up in the chat one time in an hour via me, the talkbacks, or you.
I got some audio for him coming up here.
All he had was 2 interceptions. He had 2 interceptions. Khalif Halassi. No, now when we get into this roster clip in about 25 minutes, and this is segment 3 of 45 this week. So the metaphorical fastballs may be delivered in the first 3 of 45 this week, but no, we got there's plenty transpiring with your Minnesota Vikings football team. Like, I mean, it's not big now, or it is big now. The punt returning bit, they're stuck. I mean, I'm very, very curious with that Rondell Moore injury. And by the way, Rondell wasn't that good at punt returning in the first place, with all due respect. Had like 21-22 in his career at 8.5 per. 8.5's not bad, but Rondell Moore, just think Brandon Powell when he was returning punts here, and until proven otherwise, that's what Rondell Moore was. Sadly, he got hurt And what an awful run for Rondale Moore. It was about a year ago to the day when he was with the Atlanta Falcons and they were having a joint practice against the Miami Dolphins, and he messed up his leg. And he left the practice on a cart in an air cast and was gone for the year. First play, the next run through, the punt return, and now he's gone. So it's that's terrible for him. But as the steely business of this distraction goes, well, now they got to find a punt returner, and I'm just not exactly sure what they're going to do from who's on the roster or who they can find. So it doesn't matter until you go to Soldier Field and it's windy and new guy muffs the first punt and super special Caleb gets the ball at the 18 already leading 3-0. You just got to consider things like that as we cast our gaze.
Has Lucky Jackson taken any punts in camp that you can specifically remember?
Yes, he has, but I don't recall a ton. I mean, it's
because they have 4 or 5 guys back there like Ty Felton. I've seen Silas Bolden doing it. Talking about Miles Price again, very, very back end of the roster, but it's 4 or 5 different guys. I just don't remember if Lucky's been doing it, but you're right, man. They are stuck right now.
Well, it's at 10:20. We'll get more into this a little bit, but I got verification of something I said Friday on the football feast, so I just wanted verification from somebody who actually knows about punt returning and somebody who's within the Purple and Gold Covenant. When I said Silas Bolden is the most naturally gifted punt returner this team has, and that person agreed with me. So now the next question is, can Silas play gunner? Well, then you look at him, he's like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", whatever. So therefore the answer is no. He's too small to play gunner. Can he crack the squad as the top 5 receiver? He might have to, but he had one opportunity Saturday at U.S. Bank Stadium, and he messed it up.
Oh, perfect pass from Brosmer, too.
No, I'm talking about the punt return aspect.
Oh, okay, yes.
He had one opportunity, and he went his will over the will of the return scheme. So more to talk about with that. I mean, we're loaded for this week with the Patriots here Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to be phenomenal. But this punt return situation, it's not something that's going to be first and foremost on the minds of many, and I understand that. It ain't a fantasy football trick. It matters, especially when you're going to play in tightly contested, probably low-scoring games early as they raise the quarterback. They run a lot. They're going to run a lot, and you're going to need your defense is going to force teams to punt. So this will matter. Very curious to see which way they go.
Vikes Bites. You mentioned it's Khalif. Is it Hale Lassie?
Lassie.
Halassi?
Hale Lassie.
Hale Lassie?
Yeah, I think Lassie and Hale.
He was talking after the game, not just about his picks, but just how camp's going. He's learning on the fly. He's getting better.
It's been preparing me very, very much. I mean, I just had a recent conversation about how hard it was, the defense, learning defense. I just switched to safety, so I'm playing multiple positions, but I feel like I've been, preparing for this ever since I've been here at OTA's training camp. And to come out here, on Saturday, game day, and execute is just a great feeling.
So how much am I overreacting when you see good things happen? Now, from a shutting things down standpoint, you're playing against inferior competition, so maybe these opportunities to get those picks are in play. Whether it was Ambry Thomas and Mertz just kind of went out of his head for a little bit, but you saw 2 from Hale Lassie. The depth on the back end of this secondary, at least from a playmaking standpoint, was really fun to watch on Saturday, and I'm just curious how real it is, or is it preseason fool's gold when you think about what happens after you get through Byron Murphy Jr., Isaiah Rodgers, and Okudah, and maybe the real chance is that somebody like Hale Lassie, somebody like Ambry Thomas, grinding 5th season in the league, what kind of real expectations of opportunity do they have by the time the roster is set?
It's big. I mean, it's Hale Lassie handling moments like the bright light moments of the games. Yes, they matter. But what he does in practice when he gets opportunities to run with, I don't know, say, like if he ever gets a chance to run with Harrison Smith and Theo Jackson or Metellus and then Rodgers and all the names you mentioned. I haven't seen that much, but then again, the scribes generally see more than I do at practice. because they're there more. But those are the moments he has to win. And, I can't remember the first one. Tatum was interviewing somebody. I was listening to that. But the second one was thrown right to him. So, I mean, you got to, but again, that's what's put in front of me.
Make the catch.
Some people drop it. Some people catch it.
Yeah.
And he caught it, and he made the most of an opportunity. Rodgers and Murphy Jr., they're locked. Okuda is mostly locked. I don't want to say there are differing opinions from those with whom I chat about Jeff Okuda, but there's a bubble through which this young man needs to burst. Because as the third overall pick from Ohio State, 2018 or 2020, one of those 2 years, we've discussed it before, and so have many others. He had an awful injury, and he played, 6-10 games over the first 2.5 seasons. But the speed and the physical nature of the way he plays supposedly has returned. So, say he was a 4.3. All right, well, he ain't a 4.3. But, the farther along in life you get, you generally slow down in certain areas. So he ain't a 4.6. I don't think, he's still fast enough, still super physical at the line of scrimmage. That's what O'Connell was looking for from Okuda in this first preseason game was, and I'm going to watch this back. I forgot to watch this back, is beat up whatever receiver is opposite you. That's it. And we will have an angel on your shoulder. We will put somebody over the top so you don't have to beat somebody up and run, which is very hard. So just get up on the line and use that big upper body and that elite leg strength and just beat somebody up at the line of scrimmage like you did a couple of years ago at U.S. Bank Stadium when you played for the Lions and you were opposite Justin and you beat him up at the line of scrimmage the entire game. Start there. So hopefully he came through with that. But behind those three, it's starting to get a little goofy because Nudie Guy was cutting into Okuda's margin, his lead, stride by stride. Well, that's changed. And then now you got the guy with the physical traits, undrafted from Utah, Alec Lewis's pet corner about whom he's written for a long time. Well, that guy's a thing. I mean,
Zemiah Vaughn.
Yeah, he's a thing.
Really cool.
And now Ambry Thomas. Okay, they like Ambry too. Just because we haven't talked about Ambry doesn't mean they don't like Ambry.
We got room for 12 defensive backs.
Ambry had a pick in the Texans game. What's he doing in practice? Enough to play ahead of a few of them, which indicates that's where he is in the pecking order. Now, Ambry Thomas has played for some Michigan defenses that were fantastic. So he's been in big spots. So Ambry Thomas, I think, is opening some eyes too, along with Khalifa Halassi, but the safety situation's a little different than it is at corner. Anything else with the Bizzles?
Yeah, well, I guess in terms of, maybe we can bring this up when we're talking about the roster, because Gabriel Murphy was somebody that opened my eyes. 5 QB hits, had a sack and a half. And so, again, just trying to fill out the depth of what this thing looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like there's a couple of spots, this is probably dumb way to put it. There's almost kind of like a bottleneck. Like, you want to see more from Dallas Turner, but you know that Grenard and Van Ginkel are going to take most of the money. You want to see Gabriel Murphy, but maybe the first-round pick might be a step ahead of him. Bo Richter, I thought you had a bad angle on a play, but overall, he was in the mix. Like, you just think about kind of a bottleneck at that spot, a ton of talent, Pierre.
Yeah. It's perfect, a perfect way to look at it. And more will be revealed this week when you have mini games against another team.
Yeah.
And there's tackling. I think there's mostly... No, it's not tackle to the ground, but
Vrabel's going to be out there trying to tackle people.
There will be 3 guys thrown out by the middle of the first practice. Vrabel and O'Connell, who are friends, will stop practice, and there goes T.R. Tart off to the locker room, just pouting and throwing his helmet and everything. But those are going to be big for all the names that we've just mentioned.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a fair share of Drake May Wednesday and Thursday with Stephon Diggs and I think Kendrick Bourne is a significant player within their receiving core. Mac Hollins runs for them. A couple of tight ends, and Austin Hooper, and another beef-eating tight end who is probably not going to play Saturday, but he's pretty good. So this the Patriots believe they're on the come, and a lot of people around the country, specifically with that season wins total at like 8.5, 7.5 or 8.5, and I think they won 5 last year. The Patriots have some expectations that have been put on them with this regime change, some free agent signings, and the draft in the second year for the quarterback. Looking forward to seeing all of that come to fruition against Flores' defense and O'Connell's offense this Wednesday and Thursday, and 9 to noon will be on the exclusive perch. But you're right about the edge situation. I mean, Richter is faster. Richter is stronger. What happened on the Berrios touchdown can't happen. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm, outside linebackers coach Mike Petney or anything. Right. It just from a recognition standpoint and the quick twitch thereof. Yeah. Well, that just can't happen.
No man's land went the wrong way.
But, you're in your second year and you have a right to improve too with those great physical traits. That's preseason. And that's where if you're going to make mistakes like that, where it takes you an hour to figure out 17's leaking this way and that's my responsibility, that's what preseason and practices are for. So he'll get better, and he'll be fine. He's a valued member of the Covenant.
I got a text from somebody, hey, Cordero Patterson's out on the street. Now, I had to look this up, though, PA. And,
no puns.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think he took one. StatHead, though. What am I think? I know via StatHead, he took one punt.
With us?
It was one punt with the Vikings. It's the only punt return he's ever taken in his career. So, unlikely that CP84, that flash, comes back to Minnesota from a punt standpoint.
Well, there are things you can do with this. Like Randy Moss returned punts in 1999. There was a Sunday night football game at Kansas City where he had a big spot punt return and he did well with it.
Yeah.
Well, ain't nobody saying Justin Jefferson's out there to return punts. You see, that's the problem is like with who you have on your roster now.
What about Addison?
You look at like who you have, how much you're going to play them offensively or defensively, and what's the risk reward with the punt return. So Jefferson eliminated. Addison eliminated.
Yep.
Naylor eliminated. Muff punt last year, though.
Yeah.
But that doesn't eliminate him. It's just, is it natural for him? I don't think it is. What about your corners? Take a look at your corners. Have they returned punts during the course of their careers? Do we just not go with a punt returner and just let the ball bounce around and root for touchbacks? And I don't know what they're going to do, but it's low key a spot. They're in a spot right now, and I'm excited to see how they get themselves out of it.
Well, and that's why I brought up Lucky Jackson too. Is I just think that for him the next step, again, finding alternate roles, and it'd be the same. You mentioned Silas Bolden, and then maybe that's the answer. He does have the most natural look to it.
Yeah.
But Lucky Jackson can make plays as a receiver. Definitely not cracking the top 3. But if he can add that extra component, I think that is what seals the deal for him on this roster.
Well, if I had to make scenarios favored, I would take what you just said and make it favored. That Lucky gets first crack. Lucky, who's running really good routes in practice from what I hear. Lucky was part of the first 3 receiver covenant with McCarthy.
Yeah.
So, now granted Jefferson's down, but nevertheless, it didn't have to be him. It could have been Rondale Moore. It could have been Dante Fleming. It could have been it could have been Silas Bolden. It could have been a lot of people. It was Lucky Jackson. And when called upon, specifically on the 94-yard drive, Lucky came through. Lucky came through on the McCarthy drive with a fast route, and then he cuts right hard, and McCarthy overshot him. So you may have nailed the answer, but the punt returning aspect of it, that could be a key component. It's 10:10. You're listening to 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN, your audio leader for Minnesota Vikings football. We have some more talkbacks around the corner, and then after that, we'll get into some roster-related conversation. Then News du Nord, where I would imagine the Keishel Covenant continues to go nuts, and why wouldn't it? Walk-off Jack yesterday. My man's capturing the imagination of the nation like that Sacramento Athletic Nick Kurtz was a couple of weeks ago. I mean, Keishel from under the cover of darkness is the absolute bomb for a team that needs it. All that and much more when we return to the 9 to noon presentation on KFAN.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. The Disney Plus Hulu HBO Max bundle. Plan starting at just $16.99 a month. Catch Limitless, Live Better Now Season 1 with Chris Hemsworth on Disney Plus.
We got a lot of work to do.
Alien Earth on Hulu.
This ship collected monsters.
And Final Destination Bloodlines on HBO Max.
Death is coming for our family.
The Disney Plus Hulu HBO Max bundle. Plan starting at $16.99 a month. All these and more streaming soon. Visit Disney Plus Hulu HBO Max bundle.com for details.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there are lots of places that also have it, and they might not be as careful as you are. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock US-based restoration specialist will help solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed or your money back. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. You might not be able to control how others handle your personal information, but you can help protect it with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock and use promo code iHeart, or go to lifelock.com/iHeart for 40% off. Terms apply.
So, have you heard the story about the prescription plan with savings automatically built in? It's where a family of any size can feel confident the cost of their medication won't hold them back. Go to cmk.co/stories to learn how CVS Caremark helps members save just by being members. That's cmk.co/stories.